Hello, my name is Bissoli Silva, and I'm educational leader here at the Butantan Biological Museum. And my title presentation is Butantan Biological Museum Beyond Walls, Community-Based and Outreach Programs. So here in this presentation, I am focusing on our off-site actions of the museum. But first of all, I will talk a little bit of our museum and where we are. So we are located in Brazil, more specifically in the city of São Paulo, and this is a drone image of our campus. So you see that we are located in this huge green area. Here at the right side, you see the Biological Museum building. And we have also in this same area other museums that are located in this green park, which is open to the public. And visitors can walk to the park and walk to the museums to visit and to get to know a little bit more about our science and our biodiversity. So the Biological Museum is this one. We are located in this green area in the west part of the city of São Paulo, here in Brazil. So our exhibition is quite different. So we are focused, our main mission is to do the ex situ conservation of living animals, mainly the reptiles and mainly the snakes. So if you walk in our museum, you see living snakes in enclosures that look like the environments they are found in nature. So we designed these enclosures to have this specific attention for the environments that these species are found. So you see, for example, this boa in enclosure that's very similar to Atlantic forest environments, and also they have living specimens of plants, of fungus, and all the control of temperature and humidity for keep these animals safe and well. And people can interact with them. We call this like a window to through the nature, because São Paulo is a city that is very urbanized and people often don't have any contact with nature. So the museum is the opportunity to people to get in touch with animals and the biodiversity that they are not really used to. So it's inspired a lot of curiosity and inspires a lot of attention. So you see in this image people taking photos of our animals, and it's a very popular environment to be. But also it's opportunity to communicate our messages about the importance of conservate snakes, uh, mainly snakes. Yes. We also have in the museum another part of the exhibition that we have temporary exhibitions. And this one is one that we are talking about a specific biome in Brazil, which is called Caatinga. And this biome is very stereotyped to be poor in biodiversity or to don't have any importance for conservation. And in this exhibition, we show up the high biodiversity that they have. Also, we bring some interactions for the public, some virtual explain, some videos, some photos, some designs, and also the living animals. And we talk a little bit about the importance of this biome for the public. And but we also have some part of the public, the audiences that we work with, that not necessarily goes to the museum. So the audiences that we worked with here is this one, the first one, which is the public that visits the museum, the scheduled institutions, groups, the walking visitors at the museum, which is various ages, various from various countries, from various parts of Brazil, and mainly from São Paulo, but also from other parts of the world. And we also have the audiences that we treat in outreach activities, our attendees or the local communities that we work in projects that I'm talking a little bit more further. And also we have the virtual audiences that we reach through social medias, websites, repositories, some virtual exhibitions, and these three types of audiences that compose the biological museum groups that we worked with. I am focused in this two one, which is the audiences for outreach activities. In how we think how we design our offsite actions. We have two models right now. So we think in one group or one type of action that we focused on snake bite prevention and management training. Because related to this, we have populations with highest incidence of snake bites or human snake conflicts, or people that need preventive guidelines or safe handling practice to live their realities. So people that are close to nature, or they live in rural areas, or they work in farms, or they work in state parks, for example, and or people that the police, anyways, people that works in contact with nature, in contact with snakes, that treat these conflicts, human snake conflicts. So for these actions we design one type of action, the snake bite prevention and management training. But also we worked with all other type of actions, which we call science outreach events or science fairs, which we are talking to the population in general that don't have access to the biological museums. So we want to give them a quite short experience, and to relate our actions, to relate our messages, and to get to know our work, and also to get to know the individuals, the animals that we work with, and to help us to conserve the snakes. So mainly in this group, we work with the lack of awareness or a disconnection from biodiversity, which is totally different from the first group that I was talking about, which already have some connection, but it can be really conflictual. So for those two type of actions, we also, in the end, we are communicating for the biodiversity conservation, which is our final mission. Okay. So currently in this year, we have some examples of enrolled actions. And our community-based programs are in two cities right now in these years, which is the Vale do Ribeira, which is the countryside of São Paulo, some parts of, in the Vale that have a lot of botrops, jararacas, the lens heads, and we have the highest, one of the highest incidents of snake bites for botrops in this region. So we have a very important work with them. So we go to the field to identify, to do research with the animals, but also to communicate with the population, to have some training programs, to have some talks about the problems they found, to hear about what they need from us, and to work together to conserve these environments, and to understand that biodiversity and them are allied in the same way. So they need to be together to help to protect the snakes and the biodiversity that they found. Uh, and we also have another project in Paraty, which is the Rio de Janeiro state, which is a different project. It's in a farm, and in this farm we work with rural workers that works with agriculture, so preventing snake bites as well, to talking a little bit about the biodiversity of the park, and helping to create strategies of snake bite prevention. So our community-based programs are quite like this. In our outreach events that we already enrolled this year was four of them. I will show you some of them, but in general, these are activities that we do in a partnership with some institution that bring to us, for example, scholars, students, or some context. For example, the Environment Week that we have here in São Paulo. So it's an event that favors us to talk a little bit about the biodiversity, and to help people to get closer to nature, and to connect with the mission of conservate animals, and mainly snakes in this case. So these are some photos of the our handling training and snake bite prevention training in Paraty this year. So here we were talking with the uh, people that work in the farm and in the park, and talking about how to prevent and how to identify some species that are more common in the farm. Here we have also a moment to desensibilize people that are really afraid and want to kill those animals. So we have some animals that are used to human touch that we use for this action specifically, and we talk a little bit about how these animals can be. It's an animal that needs to be conserved, and people often have some fear, and in this type of interactions they lose their fear. They start to rethink their relation with the snakes, and inspire people. They are very curious about it, and in the end we can bring positive actions. We also had this specifically handling training for people that works in the park as well. So you see one of our colleagues here showing how to use the equipment, and the others also do this work and do the tests, and also do the handling as they should do for preventing snake bites, to move the animal for other places that are safer, or to um, pick this animal and put in other place that is safer for the community. So we training those agents. Here is another example of the community of the Vale do Ribeira that came to the Butantan in a trade-off. So we have been there in the last year. We did some actions there, and then we brought them here this year to get to know a little bit more about our work in the institute, because we collect some animals, we do some work in the community, and in the end they need also to understand what we do here. So it's a trade-off. It's a way that they know how they contribute and how our partnership, it's important to have this work and to continuing developing science with them. So it's a very important as well action. So here we were showing them how we do the extraction of venom of botrops, and it was a moment with our researchers, and they can also ask questions and get closer to the scientific fields, and also to understand how they can, if they are interested, how they can work with this, with us, and etc. Here are other photos that in this situation I was showing them one of our animals that we use to sensibilize people. So they were very curious about how was the feeling touching them, and this is also some part of this action. We also had some in one island here in Brazil that also have lots of cases of. So this is a model, the outreach events that I was talking about. So we also have some groups, some scholar groups that visit us. So we show them some materials, show them the animals as well, and talk a little bit about the matters that we talk in the museum. And the final message is how to amplify our vision and support our partners to do this work together with us. So, with the Save the Snakes, the Butantan Institute, and the Biological Museum, we will work in a global snake education network, which is an initiative for engage global actors in a way. So, in this network, we want to build a global community to benefit cultural shift and risk mitigation, and to foster harmonious coexistence between people and snakes, empower, have public awareness, evidence-based education, and global alliances. So our idea is to bring people together to build a repository of materials, and to organize people surrounding one idea, which is uh, the snake educators. So here's an example of our repository. So we are building a repository, open repository that people can access and have access to all of our materials. And if you navigate, you can see the materials that are available for downloads. And if you want to participate on this global initiative with us, please scan this QR code and get in touch with us. So we are building this community and you are more than welcome to join us. Thank you very much. Here are my contacts and I am available for any questions.